Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles 2. My name is Anna, and here we discuss all things manifestation, psychology, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, spirituality, obviously. And of course, if you want to put a label like that on it, I really talk a lot about energy as well. To me, that's the master magicianship that I've learned to have. And it's work that I absolutely adore. I offer coaching. All that information is in the description. If you have any questions, just email me. So, why do we end up feeling unworthy? Is the topic of discussion today. When I deal with my clients, we go through their beliefs, and if there is a problem currently playing out in their world, a challenge in relationship, a challenge in money, and challenge in whatever, in confidence, it's directly linked to some kind of a childhood story that they absorbed and never revisited. As simplistic as that sounds, it really is 100% accurate. And you don't actually realize just how much power those memories hold over you. And depending again on the area of your challenge, you could be the judge of how that's affecting you today. But we really underestimate the power of the initial encounters with these topics, with the impressions that our parents gave us. And so, in a lot of ways, you could be mimicking not only your childhood trauma or childhood just, it doesn't have to be trauma, it just has to be kind of, fed into you with, spoon fed to you with your, baby food. These just kind of understood, in quotations, ideas that are not understood at all. It's just a version of reality. But because we trusted our parents, obviously, they're our parents, nobody else really there to take care of us, right? I mean, unless you had a guardian. But somebody who has direct rapport with you every single day, early on, eventually rubs off on you some type of way, unless you choose to reject this, right? So this is entirely in your control. Why we become feeling unworthy, we become this person who is not worthy and therefore attracts unworthy things, is because earlier on our needs were just not met. That's the short answer. Your mom, your dad, your guardian, whoever just did not live up to the standard. Basically, it's an emotional neglect, could be a demonstration of false ideas about love. There's something that wasn't given to you, and or a false idea on top of it, right? To completely confuse you about a lot of things. So it isn't until such time that you really start to challenge and reject these ideas upon examining them and realizing this is not actually the only truth. There are other realities, other possibilities for you. So I'll give you an example. It'll become a little bit more clear. I did not grow up wealthy. My parents, we were okay, let's just say. Okay, we had just enough to be okay, kind of deal. My father's sister is extremely well off. Just, money coming out of her ears. And yet, if you observe her, it doesn't really look like she's working ever. And yet she makes a ton of money. So, and that's just been her theme. So she clearly, they both grew up in the same, household. They were actually poor, okay? Not really even okay, poor. My grandparents, but one chose this way and the other one chose that. And that's actually parallel to my story, because clearly at home I was taught a certain way, be modest, The lack is dignified, it's noble, just have less food, and these kinds of like stupid shitty ideas. And I really did not like that. And it all came from my mother, mind you, who grew up extremely poor, in Siberia, in a village of like 20 people, you know what I mean, kind of deal. So she was and my dad had more. I mean, he didn't, again, had astronomical money, but he was okay. And compared to her, this was like she won the lottery, kind of deal. But my mom was very much rooted in this like lack, limitation, very sad, to observe that. Like it came through in details, in the things that she chose to buy, how she chose to say things. And then on top of it, when my parents separated, she like completely did not know how to manage money. I mean, even I understood it back then. Like I was like 11, and I realized like her money management skills are zero, because she would go and splurge like something on her. And then at home there would be lag, because my dad would send her the money and she would mismanage it. And so eventually, whatever, my dad sent me separate money because I never got the money for what I needed. That's a whole other fucking shebang story. And some money from my sister and my mother. So there was a lot of strange stuff about money and with my mom. But luckily for me, okay, God looked down on me, and I had a divine intervention when at age 12, because my parents separated, it was very unpleasant. The whole shebang, the way my mom was just freaking out. And my aunt, my dad's sister, asked if it was okay for me and my sister to go live with her in Monte Carlo, where she currently was. She lives everywhere, but at that time she was, stationed in Monte Carlo. Tough job, let me tell you. And my mother refused to let my sister go, and this is why I went alone. And I so am grateful for this experience. I'm so grateful that I must have insisted on this. I intuitively just wanted to break free from all of that drama and all of her like crazy talk and everything. And I landed in Monte Carlo, and I was like, this is how it's supposed to be. These are happy people over here. I mean, of course, I'm over idealizing, but it was just like there was no lack there. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been, but it's just really fucking amazing. This place is so clean. There isn't a cigarette butt on the floor. You could eat off the floor. It's so manicured, and the people are happy and so well dressed, and the cars and the bushes. I mean, it's paradise. It's literally paradise. And so I saw that another way was possible. And certainly everything that my mother and my dad told me about money or having things or whatever went completely down the drain because my aunt, like I said, she lived a life. She was not struggling. She was not working hard. Sorry for the sirens. She wasn't struggling. She was having fun. She was having dinners every night out, doing pedicure massages, jetting off to Paris at an hour's notice, like doing shit like that. All the while conducting business somehow, and just doing shit all over the world. And I was just like in awe. I was really in awe. I remember this moment of like, I have been lied to. Like literally, I had this moment as a 12-year-old. I have been fucking lied to by my two idiot parents. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. I was like, they don't know. They have no idea what they're talking about. And not for nothing, right there and then, I lost respect for both of them. Because I feel like, and I had resentment towards them for this very reason, because it was next door. It wasn't like it was somebody we didn't know. It was his sister. But anyway, I got over that a long time ago, and I realized I just didn't know any better. But this is what it is, because if you feel unworthy, it's somebody who taught you that, told you this. Not to expect anything more. I'm not going to give it to you, and don't expect it from, the rest of the world. But what ends up happening is, like, if you don't get it from your parent or somebody else that will kind of like intervene and show you a different way, you will end up like most of the people who don't really process this kind of turmoil within them, thinking that somebody else owes it to you from the outside. You generate it yourself. I don't care what it is, a person, a bank account full of fucking money like you've never seen before, a beautiful occupation, healing, job. Again, the SP is fucking the easiest of them all. I mean, really, it is, because it's so easy to literally manipulate energy. And somebody, don't you know, the other day on Magic and Miracles, the original channel, wrote me a comment, this smells of witchcraft. I was discussing energy work. Well, it's just like, you're already doing it. So what are you doing witchcraft right now as we speak? Like, you always are energy, an energy being. So you can literally create anything out of your energy. And that's exactly what this entire situation is. I mean, most coaches that tell you like, oh yeah, just affirm, and read your affirmations before bed and whatever else they say, which is so superficial, but whatever. It's just like throw that advice into the garbage. You need to shift your energy. Like, how do you feel about money, let's just say? How do you feel about a really healthy, loving relationship that is on your fucking terms, like for the first time in 300 million years? Right? So do you feel like you deserve it? Or would you be like completely awkward in this exchange? Like somebody gave you, like everybody says they want a lot of money and they want to win the lottery and blah, blah, and become a billionaire. But will you actually be able to hold on to that and keep it in your life forever based on who you are today? Right? Or will everything inside your body scream that you don't deserve it, and therefore you will repel it, you will flush it down the drain like it never has been? So that's the thing, right? When you're adjusting your beliefs, you really need to completely say no. It's not even a no, it's like you're fired. You're fired. I have other options, you could say. And I'm really choosing the best option for me always. And this is one of my mantras personally. When you open up the door in your mind to other possibilities, first of all, it's like you don't even listen to anybody's counsel anymore. You're your own counsel. And I think my mantra personally, it's like this. What is the best and the highest in the situation? I want the best and the highest. I don't know about you, but I'm not fucking settling. Settling is, quite frankly, for amateurs that don't know any better. So I'm going to ask for the best and the highest. And that's exactly what I'm going to expect. And then you will prove to yourself, like I have, thank goodness for this experience in Monte Carlo, and then I went to Paris, and then I went to Italy. It was a really intense re-education, let me just say it like that. Now I can see, back then I would complain, like I switched schools so many different ways, but whatever, it was worth it. So this shift within the mind that needs to occur, where you are now shifting into this world of, I'm going to give it to myself. I'm not going to wait for my mom to become better. It's just like, it doesn't matter. It played a story, you gained experience. I'm going to give it to myself just by entertaining a different reality. Because it's possible. It's possible for others. Use other people as inspirations for your own creativity, for your own success. Not copying, obviously. Always have to be careful, how I'm coming off to people. Not copying, But being inspired, oh, I really, that's inspirational, not jealousy, but inspiration. I want to incorporate this belief within myself as well, that it's easy. And like I said, this is your original state. Like when I saw the people on the streets of Monaco, I was like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. This is the original state. But so many people deviate from the original state because the first people on planet Earth that they had to deal with didn't have their shit together. So in and of itself, idealizing that structure of beliefs is bogus because it came from somebody who had no idea what they were doing. I mean, it's just the truth, right? We don't have these kinds of like evaluations these days. Never did we ever. Who can become a parent? Just anybody who wanted became a parent. You know, it just goes like that, right? So if there were like tests and things like that, like what do you believe about money? You know, maybe not a lot of people would pass that test. I don't know. Can you imagine if that was a test? We need to check your beliefs, sir, if you qualify for a father. Oh my God. So don't rely on others. Sample experiences, sample visions, sample things that inspire you, people who inspire you, to create a diametrically opposed, permanent version of your reality that directly corresponds to your preferences. Nobody else is going to give it to you. That's the fun part, but also, of course, the effort part. But listen, it's kind of like if you want to have it done right, do it yourself. That's exactly what it is. You better off selecting all of the things that you want to correct and adjust and what you want to think instead, rather than somebody else, you know, spoon feeding you some bullshit of theirs all over again. And what other thing happened to me in particular, since I'm sharing and being so personal, by the way, I started questioning everything that anybody told me after that experience of like, there's literally a different way. I don't have to work hard. I have to love what I do. Like, that's what was shown to me. That's how I interpret it. And so since then, I would question everybody's motives of what they would say to me. Now, I didn't always trust my intuition, which is another thing I really feel like they should teach at school, to always trust your intuition. Your intuition is always correct. And so I didn't use this kind of like knowledge of maybe I shouldn't listen to this bullshit right now. But this is entirely right now, right here, your choice to start changing the direction of your life. And if these thoughts are bombarding you of you not being worthy, start taking a look at them. Who's talking, right? Who are you and where is this coming from? And I'll bet you fucking money it's coming from your parents. Just if you take the time, maybe we could do it in coaching, to kind of, you know, wind it back to the original message. Doesn't have to be verbal. Non-verbal communication, meaning not telepathy even, but kind of like this atmosphere of like, well, that's how things are, don't you know? It's completely, you know, bogus. And again, at some point you'll get angry, like, I can't believe I believed it. I can't believe I bought into it. That's, you know, the power of beliefs. But guess what? Once you go on the other side of, nobody can shake my belief in me being worthy, it's just as powerful. It's just as powerful. You know, it's just something changes, but you consciously have to examine it and replace it. And, you know, again, for some time, you will be really angry. Like, I can't believe I wasted my time believing this, buying into it. I can't explain the clarity that comes over. It's some kind of like, you know, almost like a changeover in dimension, you could say. You could feel it. The colors are brighter. Your mind is brighter, more clear, you know, the possibilities are wide open. And you're like, shit, this was always here. Like, you have this realization of like, this was always here and available. And I was just like dozing off in the corner with my stupid beliefs. you know? So there's a moment of resentment, but you'll get over it because right away you start achieving things that were always yours. You feel like it's a homecoming feeling, you know? Like, yeah, like, fuck yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Thank God we're here, you know? But then you never forget this frequency that you yourself took the time to work on, took the time to create. You'll never forget that. It's like a tune you carry with yourself, like I say, that feels a certain way. Find out what that should be with you right now in any area of your life and start deliberately going there. That's the artistry of creating your beliefs. And it's such rewarding work that, I mean, oh my God, you will be literally a completely different person. Thank you so much for listening. All the information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.